Hello, Cancer. Thank you very much for tuning into this week's read. For the main part of the read, I'm using Tarot Illuminati by Eric C. Dunn. Supportive Oracle cards, Chakra Wisdom Oracle cards by Tori Hartman. Illustrated by Gretchen. There's Gretchen's last name. That way, if you'd like to find any of those creators, there's the information to do that. Whew. I feel like I'm card drunk. Okay, we got the Oracle ones out. Sometimes I think I look and I keep trying to make better ones pop out if something rough comes out, so I try to look away and do them face down so I don't influence myself. Let's see how this goes. I'm not sure. There's some very good cards on your side coming forward, but you have to see how they add up by the end to see how this is going to turn out. Starting off, Discovery, Instinct, and Joy. Coming in with your King of Wands. All of this is yours. So you found something you liked. Discovery, Instinct, and Joy. You found something you liked. That's the Discovery. But like it's also like Discovery seems to be connected directly with Instinct very strongly. Like these two feel very strong together for me. So I'm thinking like when you found what it was, you're like, well, if I want anything to happen with it, I need to move on it now. We need to move on it now. I need to pull some people together. I need to make sure, like it's kind of like, you know, the bird sitting on the perch. You're like, it's only gonna sit there so long, and once it flies, it flies. So if we want to get it, we gotta get it now. That's these two together. Joy is telling me you're very happy about this opportunity. You're like, this is perfect. This is exactly what I wanted to see. I don't know if it's unexpected. For some of you it might be, but I feel like when I'm feeling the joy here, maybe not the situation, but the level of excitement that you're feeling at this moment, the how good this could go moment, that's the joy. It could be a little bit more of a shock at how well it's going. And you're going to move on it. You've decided you're going to move on it, and you're going to pull other people in with you. This is something that goes really quick. You got completion with the Eight of Wands, which is speed or travel. So you got, it's like the completion is making me feel like you're taking care of this really quick. It's kind of like booking the trip in the hotel, and it's like done is done. Now we just got to take the trip. The completion is telling me it's locked into place. Like whatever you're doing, whatever you're moving forward on, the completion is like, it's like you've chosen to do it and you're locking it there. Like this is going to happen. You're not going to be able to get out of it without some type of recourse. Or, for example, if you book the hotel and the flight today, if you try to get out of it in a week, you're going to lose at least half of that money, something like that. So that's why I'm feeling like the completion is saying it's locked. I feel like the completion is saying it's done really quickly, but when it's done, it's locked. Like, that's the completion card in here. Going into the next, because it's like, all that happens at once. Locked into place, it's locked. Not long does it go after that you start finding other opportunities of the same nature, and you're like, it's almost like a lot of these opportunities were coming at once. The first one you saw, you weren't expecting to find another one. It's kind of like the one bird was sitting on the perch, and you thought that's the only bird we're going to get. We're lucky that's there. We got to move on it. Great, we got it. We locked it down. Perfect, done. But now that you have this one, you don't have any room for any others. And now you're seeing a bunch of other things coming forward, a bunch of other possibilities come in, and you're like, I thought that would be the only one. I didn't expect anything after this. Like the fact that there is anything out after this is kind of shocking. The Four of Cups is telling me, though, you're like, oh, I locked that one down. If we let that go, we miss it. We're going to have something, there's going to be like some type of recourse for it. So we're going to miss out on this, or we're going to lose that, or we're going to lose this, we're going to lose our deposit, something. So you're kind of like, no, I think we're locked into what we have. So we have to stick with that. Other people seem to be second-guessing this and not liking it. Other people seem to be thinking this moved too quickly, like as if you had faulty information. I feel like you have to keep talking to this, kind of like, listen, in normal life, I mean, I went a long time without anything coming my way, and this one shot came, and I thought that was it. I didn't think there'd be something else. I didn't think there'd be more things coming. But there's people talking about it behind the scenes. I don't think that's fair. Excuse me, the yawn is usually negativity. That's usually negativity. It's kind of like a little bit of backbiting, but people talk sometimes. Sometimes they gotta just work things out. They gotta just talk it out. I don't think you like that either with that Four of Cups energy, but I'm feeling like the situation keeps going forward. Like, Faith is here, the Ace of Cups is coming in, so the situation does keep going forward, and it does feel like the situation connects really well. I also see like there's a weird energy here with the Five of Pentacles on your side, kind of like maybe as you're doing this situation and you're locking your, well, it might be when the actual situation takes place, just to be fair. There's a lot of situations where you're like, oh, if we chose differently, we'd be doing that right now instead of this. This is good, but that's clearly better. And there's kind of weird moments every now and then, kind of like, oh, I wish I knew there was going to be more possibilities. I would have waited, and then we would have got that. I just didn't know. You got the Passion and the Three of Pentacles. I also see you trying to work it out, trying to kind of make it better if you can. Kind of like, oh, I don't know. Like, it's kind of like you're finding out if you can do an upgrade, or maybe if there's a possibility to move things around. You're doing what you can to make the situation better. I feel like it weighs on you, kind of like, well, I mean, I did push it forward. I really did think this was the best possible idea or best possible plan we were going to get. You're trying to improve the situation where you can. Kind of like, I'm doing what I can with it. I'm trying to make it better. But there's only so much you can do. I feel like when you try to make it better, I don't see it really going well with the confusion card. I feel like people are like, no, just leave it alone, it's fine. Or just, like, I feel like people are annoyed with it, and they're just kind of like, it's fine, it's fine. And then the World card tells me, like, that should be the end of that moment. Like, it's not that bad, and I feel like people are like, it's fine, let's just let it go. Let's just move on from it. Let's just put it in the past. It wasn't that bad. It was a good moment to have anyway. I feel like people are over it. You and whoever you're dealing with, whatever the situation was, I feel like everybody's looking at it kind of like it was a win. It was a good time. I feel like people are a little bit more realistic now. It seems like it's after the fact, quite frankly. Kind of like it was a fun situation. Like, if they didn't know about these other possibilities, they would have had a lot more fun. But the fact that they distracted themselves, knowing that those were kind of passed by, it just wasn't worth it. I feel like people just don't want to hold on to the past anymore, and they're letting it go. Some people seem to be very realistic, kind of like, some people are putting themselves in your shoes and going, they'd have done the same thing. So I feel like this part is like putting that part of the reading in the past, but the same people seem to be pulling in some new energy here, I'm noticing. Because I feel like this is what this reading is really trying to highlight. A new possibility will come forward with this same group of people. You're going to be looking to create something. You got creation, you got the Queen of Cups here, and the next time an opportunity comes around, you're just kind of like, oh boy, I don't know. I know how the last one turned out. Should we jump on it now? Should we not? I don't know. I feel like when you're trying to create this next situation, you're trying to be as just forthcoming as possible, and why you think this and why you think that. Kind of like, listen, there's this situation here, and they don't happen very often. I don't think in my life they usually don't. That last situation happened though, but I wanted to bring it forth to all you guys and see what you thought. What if you thought this was worth it or not. What you thought the idea here was about. You got a weird energy here, because I feel like people want to be a part of this next situation, but then they're looking at it like, should we do something or should we wait? Because last time we moved too quickly. They're trying to balance out the renewal here, and a lot of people, like, they might be moving on from the situation. This next situation might not happen. I'm getting renewal and renewing the energy and trying to get another plan going, and another situation might be missed out on. And the balance here is that other people aren't wanting to move forward, almost like they want to hold back, hoping a better situation or a better possibility will come forward. They may even want to research it themselves, from what I understand. I feel like this time when it goes around, the situation, I feel like the first opportunity comes in, and they're like, well, there's probably going to be more. Let's hold off and wait and see what else comes around. I feel like you're kind of looking at this like, I think that last situation was an oddity. I don't think that's common. But if you want to, I mean, I understand, because I was wrong last time. I guess I was. I mean, obviously was. So if that's what y'all want to do, that's what we're going to do. So this opportunity passes by, and this time it goes like normal. Nothing comes by to replace it. You feel kind of bad about it. You feel kind of bad, but you're also kind of impartial, kind of like, you know what, I gave the information to the people how I knew it. I don't know what to say about that last situation. More possibilities showed up. I just didn't expect it to. It's very rare, and I explained them that in this situation, and they wanted to hold off and see what else popped in, and nothing popped in, and then we missed out. So the impartiality on your side is kind of like, hey, I gave them the information. They didn't want to take it. They didn't want to move on with it. They thought, hey, there could be other possibilities. I warned them that that's extremely rare. I don't see them coming, but if that's what we got to do, then that's what we got to do. You're kind of bothered by it at the same time, though. Even though you're not upset about how other people feel because you gave them the power to decide what they want to do. At the same time, you would have really liked to have taken advantage of that situation. And you're kind of like, the isolation with the Nine of Swords is making me feel like you're kind of regretting you just didn't push this forward too. You're kind of thinking, if I just kind of push this forward and really put some oomph behind it, people would have got on board with this one, and they would have seen, like, this is how things normally play out. But it didn't work out that way. There's a weird energy with this situation. It's not just the situation, it's the people involved. It's the group of people you have involved here. Because they feel like they might be very stubborn to this. Like, they got the wheel here with the perception, and the last one is the Four of Pentacles. So they might be looking at it like, you know, this just didn't go their way. The wheel just didn't turn in their favor. And not that it was bad. Well, yeah, no, it was bad. Because they didn't get the opportunity they wanted. It's all about how they perceive it. Because they feel like they're looking at it, well, usually there would be more options, but today there just wasn't. I don't feel like that's common. I feel like it's very rare that there's more options. So the way the wheel is turning, it could get stuck like that for a while until these attitudes change. And I feel like that's what they're letting you know. So, like, the first situation, you got people to go with you, then other opportunities came along, and they're like, oh, we wish you got that. We wish we went with this. We wish we went with that. Oh, we didn't know this possibility was coming. Now, the second one comes around, and you let them kind of go do what they want to do, and they pass it by. The Four of Pentacles with the wheel is telling me this could kind of lock in, and there could be a lot of missed opportunities with this group going forward, as long as that same perception is there. You need to, every time one of these options happen, every time one of these options happen, and it's only the one option, and then they pass it by and nothing's there, you need to make like a little bit of a ruckus about it, just not bad, but just kind of like make sure they make note of that. Like, let's realize, all right, yeah, the other time there was a lot of options after the fact, and I'm telling you that's rare. This time nothing else came in, and let's just remember that. If we have to keep a tally, let's keep a tally, because I'm going to show you it's not often that happens. Until you can convince them that these multiple opportunities coming in is a rarity, there's going to be many missed opportunities, is what I'm getting. I almost feel like, depending on where you are on the situation currently, because a lot of people watch these, I know, and it depends on how it's hitting for you. When you get to this part of the first situation, where the first situation is being kind of reevaluated, kind of like, oh, I wish we did something different. It was good, but it could have been better. You need to speak up at that point and make a point that, you know, it's very rare for more opportunities to come in succession like that. Usually you get a rare one in front of you and you take advantage of it and you're thankful for that. It's not often you're going to get more possibilities, especially more possibilities that are better. It's very rare. if you can make that point strongly enough, I feel like when this next possibility comes in, you can kick that one forward. You really want to kick this next one forward and get people to get behind that too. If you can do that, there's a chance that you won't get stuck in this, negative wheel, this negative turn of the wheel. Whichever way the wheel turns, it's going to get stuck for a while, is what it's telling me with the Four of Pentacles. So if you push it forward and keep it moving, and people take advantage of this, you'll be able to keep that momentum onto the next few possibilities, next 2 turns of the wheel, if you will. If you don't, though, it's going to be missed opportunity, followed by missed opportunity, followed by missed opportunity. So try to keep it moving, try to keep them on again, try to get them to follow you again. I feel like this will go better. This next time should go a lot better, and then you can keep that in place. If it falls flat, again, it's going to fall flat 3 or 4 times at least. After that, there's going to be a lot of missed opportunities. I feel like it's the stubbornness of the people you're working with, but hopefully you can do something with that. All right, I'm going to shut this down here. I hope that helps. Thank you for watching. If you'd like a direct reading from me, shoot me an email, jamesforastral@gmail.com. That's James, the number 4, astral@gmail.com. Thank you.